Wife gets results from husband's DNA test, realizes what she's done. After 10 beautiful years of a happy marriage, Claire and Mike discovered they would finally be parents. Even though they've been born and grew up in the same small town, Mike didn't take the decision to get married until he was 18. They decided to enjoy their union without children, and just after 9 years, they thought they were prepared to have a kid. That's why after a hard year trying, they were so glad of warming a little boy in their arms. Both husband and wife were so joyful with the idea of having and hearing a little person walking on the floor of their home. So as soon as they knew a new family member would join the family, they started to prepare everything. After the arrival of their little boy, Claire and Mike thought they couldn't be happier. They actually were a perfect family. They really loved each other and felt they were made for one another. 2 years later, it was Mike's 30th birthday, so his wife wanted to offer him a big surprise. This way, she invited his closest friends and filled the house with a lot of balloons. She also got a big and delicious-looking cake. Her intention was to throw the most incredible birthday party her husband had ever had. She was confident Mike would have the best day ever. Knowing Mike's desire of knowing his roots, Claire decided to give her loved one an ancestry kit so he could find all his family members. The day came, and as Claire expected, Mike was really astonished with the gift. And so when the party was over, both sat down and did the test. They were excited to learn and uncover all the secrets of their family history. Nevertheless, what they were about to discover was far from what they expected. There was something really strange in the theories they made about their family. It was really incredible. In that moment, they desired never to have done that investigation and continue with their lives as before. But once discovering the truth, Claire and Mike couldn't keep living as they were now. Many things needed to be changed. Some days after that incident, Claire was sitting down on her bed, turning and looking through the pages of her family photo album. She couldn't help but smile when she saw all the beautiful family memories that were impressed on the pictures. Her smiles, however, soon turned into tears by figuring out that she and her husband as well were living in a complete lie. Everything changed too fast and they needed to do something. It was in that moment that the idea of a DNA test emanated from her mind as a violent stream that both destroys and renews all in its way. Then, when her husband was returning home, she talked to him about her decision of getting medical results to be sure about their fear. Mike completely agreed. Even though they shared an incredible life together and their love had brought a new life into the world, the idea of being relatives assaulted their imagination and didn't allow them to live in peace. According to the investigation they made with their family roots with the ancestry kit, they were closer than they thought. They were family. A week after they sent the DNA test to the lab, Claire and Mike got the results. The woman was nervous and excited at the same time. Endless theories ran through her mind. On the other hand, Mike was at work and Claire waited all day for him so they could peel the envelope together and read what fate had in store. As soon as she heard Mike's keys in the door, she raced towards him armed with a letter containing the results. They were both so excited, and without any further ado, they opened the page. Claire could feel her heart beat in her throat. They sat down as their eyes began to scan the contents of the sheet of paper. Then a sudden and uneasy feeling hit the pit of Claire's stomach. "No, this can't be! It can't be true!" Mike yelled out. Claire didn't respond. She had no words. Right there on the piece of paper, the results showed that Claire and Mike were closely related. They were actually cousins. The couple was devastated. They needed answers and needed them fast. That unexpected discovery left the marriage completely unsettled. How could that be true? How could they be related? The only realistic theory they reached to conceive pointed that Mike's mother had an affair with one of Claire's uncles. But this seemed very unlikely. Mike's parents had been married for 30 years and everybody always held his mother close to sainthood. How was it possible? After finding out the impacting truth, they decided to sleep in different beds in separate rooms. Besides that, they refused to talk about what happened. Nonetheless, the woman was still confused about how exactly they were related. Claire was willing to put together the pieces in her mind, but she was unable. All that story of an affair between her mother-in-law and one of her mother's brothers doesn't make any sense. All her uncles were happily married. She was distraught and alone. Even when she really wanted to tell someone about it, she couldn't. She would forever be living with this secret. Maybe the most painful part in all of this was that Claire couldn't even share the secret with her own mom or sisters, who visited just a month after finding out the truth. She was worried about ruining her marriage or blowing up the rest of the family. Moreover, she's always heard her father-in-law telling the story of how he married the first girl he kissed. Claire could never let him know that he'd been betrayed. Unfortunately for the marriage, they'd never find out the truth about their family. Since their discovery, both Claire and Mike decided to separate. Then, a year later, their divorce was finalized. It was a strange feeling, but Claire felt at ease. Now they could carry on with their lives.